A Rubik's Cube has 54 colored squares, and this is WILT Week 54. Both of these are enjoyed by a small group, while the majority looks at them and is like, I'm good. Yeah. Today is Monday, March 4th, and today I learned that I've become desensitized to the ways of Davis. If you follow UC Davis on Twitter, you might have seen this video. Yeah, it's a horse carriage just going through the middle of our school. And while this horse was on Twitter, this wasn't my first time seeing it today. Today, when I finished my classes and I was biking back to my apartment, I just rode right past this horse pulling these two people. And I didn't give it a second thought. I was like, okay, I'm riding my bike this way, horse going that way. That's all perfect and well. But then about 2 minutes later, I started thinking about it, digesting the idea in my head, and I realized that I just rode my bike by a horse carriage on my college campus. That's a weird thing, right? That's weird. But it wasn't weird to me because I go here and I've seen that before. Horses are big things. They're big animals. Like, how much does a horse weigh? Horse weight. Yeah, horses can weigh anywhere from 840 to over 2,000 pounds. And that beast just walked by me when I was riding my bike and it was pulling two people on a wagon. Is that what that is? It's a wagon, right? Maybe a horse carriage? I don't know horse terminology. I'm so sorry. If you were coming to my channel for horse facts and terms, I don't know what to tell you. So yes, today I learned that I've become desensitized to the ways of Davis. If you told Gauruv from like 2 years ago that I would be riding my bike by a horse at my college campus, I would be like, oh, great, I got into Farmland University. I don't think that's a real thing, but there's one way to find out actually. Farmland University. So there's no Farmland University, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff about the University of Illinois. So if you would have told me that I'd be riding my bike on college and pass a horse, I would have told you, did I get into Illinois? Is that what's happening? Okay, the point is, this should be a weird thing, but it's not because I go to UC Davis. There. That's what I learned today. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, and today I learned that the human body makes no sense. If you watched last week's WILT, you might have heard me complain about this thing in my eye. I thought it was like a pimple. It was a little bump on my left eye. Upper eyelid, left eye. You're not my doctor. I don't know why I'm describing it so precisely. And over the weekend, it went away. That was great. It went away. Awesome. Last night, my other eye started hurting, my right eye, and guess what? On this eye, on the lower eyelid, there's a bump, which is just so annoying. I think it's called a sty. I don't think it's a pimple, it's a sty. And all that you can do is apply a warm compress, which isn't very reassuring. Like, imagine if you had a medical issue and you went to the doctor and you're like, okay, I have this issue, what do I do? Imagine if the only thing the doctor told you to do was take a warm, wet towel and put it on your face. How could that make you like, how could that possibly make you feel better? But it's the only thing that I can do right now, so that's what I'm doing. This looks so stupid. Today is Wednesday, March 6th, and today I learned that when Kobe Bryant had home games, he would wake up at 4:30, work out for 2 hours, then go back home and take his daughters to school. Today I was watching a clip from this interview thing that A-Rod does. Yeah, A-Rod does interviewing stuff now because of course he does. And I was listening to this interview and Kobe was talking about his daily routines as a player at home and away. And it's not like it's the most surprising thing in the world that Kobe Bryant was waking up at 4:30 to work out for 2 hours every day, but it's interesting looking at it from my perspective. Because for someone like me to wake up at 4:30, that would only happen if I had like a flight to get to. That's the only reason I would have to wake up that early. And even then, waking up for a flight at 4:30 is not the most enjoyable thing in the world. If you were to wake me up at 4:30, I would want you to say like, oh, we're going to the new pancake place and we're gonna try their new pancakes. Pancake places don't exist. Imagine if you went to a pancake place and you're like, oh, these pancakes are great, can I have a side of eggs? And they're like, oh, whoa, whoa there, buddy. Read the sign. Pancake place. Nothing about eggs. Even Waffle Barn has like all breakfast foods, even though they're just Waffle Barn. They were like, okay, let's not get too crazy, we'll put waffle in the name, but remember guys, everything. Bacon, eggs, sausage, we gotta get it all out there. But sir, aren't we the Waffle House? Yeah, but who the hell is gonna go to a place that only sells waffles? I would actually... Jimmy, you're already weird. We don't want people like you here. That really hurt my feelings, actually. Yeah, well, Jimmy, I don't care, okay? And frankly, no one else here does. So yes, if you were to wake me up at 4:30, I sure as hell wouldn't want you to wake me up to go work out. I would want you to wake me up to go to the new pancake place right across the street. There's not a new pancake place right across the street, but what if there was? I sure as heck wouldn't want Jimmy working there. Hey, okay, now it's just really mean, guys. You know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm taking it a little too far. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. No problem, Jimmy. You're a weird guy. You know that? Yep, my family reminds me every day. Okay, yeah, wow, that took a dark turn. Today is Thursday, March 7th, and today I learned that you should always check how your tests are graded. Very recently, I took my second math midterm and the grades were released. And I did what I do anytime that grades are released. I always go back and check, was everything graded properly? So I go back and I check, you know, is everything working fine in the grading department on my test? And there's 5 questions, so I go, okay, question 1 looks good, 2, good, 3, 4, same, good. And then I get to question 5. Question 5 had 2 parts. Each of them were worth 5 points. Part 1, 5 out of 5, no big deal. Part 2, however, 0 out of 5. And at first I was like, oh, well, yeah, that's one of the ones I didn't know. But then after really looking at it, I was like, wait, this is the one I thought I did right. I actually thought I got number 1 completely wrong, and that's the only one I got completely right. I really don't get how this college thing works, but it somehow works. So this last problem, I'm like, I for sure got some points at least, right? There's no way that I'm this dumb, right? So I check it again and I find out that, oh, I just switched 2 numbers. That was it. So I double checked what the grading should have been and I should have gotten 4 out of 5 on that part. So I started a discussion on Canvas. I was like, hey, can we do regrade request? No one responded. I'm used to it. It's okay. So then I emailed my TA and he was like, oh, can't do much for you, buddy, but email the professor. So then I emailed the professor and he was like, oh, I'd love to look at your regrade. Just come meet me in person. So finally we get to today. I didn't give a timeline of all the earlier parts, but just know that they happened earlier than today. You probably got that part, yeah. So today, I go to his office hours, I'm like, hey, look at question 5, part B. I think I get some points. So he's looking at it, and he's like, oh. Yeah, no, you should have gotten 4 out of 5 on that one. And then I was like, oh. Yes, I should have. Which, by the way, is I totally earned those 4 points. It's not like I didn't earn them. But then, right as I got my grade corrected, another student walked in and she asked about the same exact problem. Apparently, the TA that was grading that problem, just, if you didn't get it completely right, he was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna spend any time on it. So had I not taken the initiative and, you know, started a discussion, emailed my TA, then emailed my professor, I wouldn't have gotten those 4 points, which is a big deal because those 4 points translate into like half a letter grade on that midterm. So although I didn't actually learn something new today because I always check my grades, I did learn that it does pay off because you can check like 4 tests in a row and there'll be no problem, it's fine. But then that 5th test, that one could be the one where you should have gotten some points. And today I got my 5th test. Well, I've taken quite a few tests actually. I'm just going with the saying I just did. You get it. Once again, you're an intelligent person. I don't have to dumb it down for you. So yes, always double check that the TA and the professor are giving you the credit you deserve because you're worth it. I think that's like that's a commercial, right? Do something because you're worth it. Oh. Yeah, it's the motto for L'Oreal, that that beauty brand. I'm not sure why I know that, but I do, because I'm worth it. L'Oreal. Today is Friday, March 8th, and today I learned about a new format of theater seating. Today I went and saw Captain Marvel with my friend Eric, and up until today I'd only been to one Davis theater. It was the Davis Cinema 5. It's over on G Street right next to Wingstop, so it's a very important street to me. But today, when I went to see Captain Marvel with Eric, we went to Davis Cinema 6. And at 8:15 p.m. I walk into the theater to see Captain Marvel, and I see these seats. Yeah, that's what the inside of the theater looked like. Which is really weird to me, because usually theaters are like, you know, they ramp up, there's a bunch of stairs you have to climb to get to the top, and you're sort of even with the screen, like you're looking at the middle of the screen. Whereas in Davis Cinema 6, all the seats are like even, there's a slight decline, but for the most part, your view of the screen looks like this. this is what it looks like if you were to sit in like one of the back rows of the movie. And I told Eric, I was like, this kind of reminds me of a lecture hall at college. Actually, my first thought when I went in there was, oh, I've never been in this classroom before. And then I realized, oh no, we're in a theater. So yeah, I learned about a new format of theater seating. It wasn't bad, I got to admit. At first I thought I was going to be looking like this. But it's actually not that extreme. You pretty much just put your head up a little bit like this and you're looking at the screen. My only one qualm, if I have one, is that the seats are a little tight. Like I found myself bumped knees with the guy next to me a couple more times than we probably should have. By like the 4th or 5th time that we bumped knees, I think he got a little too comfortable and he put his hand over my thigh. I was like, whoa, seats are a little too tight, man, okay? We're not tight, so please get your hand off my thigh. So yeah, that was WILT Week 54. Thank you so much for watching Graphic. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed and follow me on Instagram. This week's question is, what do you think of this audio quality? It's a new mic, and I'm going to be using it for future videos. So if you like this quality, let me know, because this is the setting I kind of decided on, but I want to know your input. So let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that was WILT Week 54. Make sure you eat sweet and savory, and I'll see you next time for WILT Week 55.